The story starts somewhere in Southeast Asia, with a van parked in a deserted area. Inside, a news reporter named Mattia is desperately trying to find a missing child. She leaves the van and quietly slips into a facility. Suddenly, a painful scream echoes through the premises. She peeks through a hole and finds a strong man abusing a child. Mattia storms into the room and knocks the man to the ground. Out of nowhere, a group of other kidnappers rushes in to stop Mattia from taking the boy. Mattia bravely fights the goons, but she can't save the child from being killed. Tak, an archer, shoots an arrow at the child and kills him on the spot. Afterward, he kills Mattia. Somewhere in Thailand lives a poor Chinese mute man named Wang, with his daughter Rainey. Rainey urges her father to let her come to his workplace, and Wang agrees. After fixing a cabinet at a restaurant, Wang and Rainey leave. Just then, some extortionists enter the restaurant and demand money from the owner. Instead of helping the elderly lady, Wang chooses to leave with his daughter. On the way, Rainey is visibly annoyed at her father for not intervening to help the old lady. Wang tells her that it wasn't their business. Rainey then says that she shouldn't be going back to China. Instead, she and her grandmother should move here and help him with his work. Wang doesn't say anything and quietly moves on. At a local restaurant, Navin, Mattia's husband, is secretly searching for his wife. He meets a local goon named Paklong, a human trafficker, and gives him some money to arrange a meeting with his boss. Rainey doesn't feel like training in Kung Fu, but her father wants her to do it because it will help her become strong. Rainey ignores him and goes to her room. Navin fixes a tiny camera into a button and attaches it to his shirt before meeting the cartel boss. Elsewhere, Rainey and Wang arrive at a saloon. Rainey doesn't want to keep short hair, but Wang insists she keep it, saying it will help with her Kung Fu training. Rainey says her classmates already think she's a tomboy, and she won't look pretty with short hair. Then Wang explains that he won't always be available to protect her. Rainey asks why she can't stay with him. Wang goes quiet. Frustrated, Rainey storms out of the saloon. A lady barber goes after her to bring her back. On the way home, Rainey stumbles upon a boy begging for help. He tells her that his sister has been hit by a car and their parents aren't home. The lady barber returns and says she can't find Wang's daughter. The boy leads Rainey to a secluded area where Paklong kidnaps her in a plastic bag. Paklong scolds his son for bringing only one kid. Wang panics and searches for Rainey. He arrives at the ice factory and finds a man who has Rainey's chocolate. Sensing something is off, Wang desperately chases after the truck to rescue his daughter. He takes a shortcut and lunges at the vehicle, snatching the key and tossing it aside. Meanwhile, Ho sends him crashing into the ground. Before long, a fierce fight breaks out between Wang and the kidnappers. Wang strikes Paklong with a cylinder, sending him to the ground. Then, he rushes into the truck and finds his daughter unconscious under a pile of plastic bags. Suddenly, Ho storms in with a concrete hammer, nearly crushing Wang. He throws Wang off the vehicle. Recuperating quickly, Wang dashes after the truck. At that moment, Rainey awakens and nearly tumbles off the truck. Ho catches her and starts messing around with her, nearly smashing her head against the road. Wang does everything he can to reach the truck, but just then he gets struck by a speeding vehicle. Injured and beaten, he rises again, but the truck has already disappeared. He hurriedly heads to the local police station to ask for help. Writing on scraps of paper, he tells the officer that his daughter has been kidnapped down the street, but the constable presses him to wait, which infuriates Wang, leading him to bang on the counter. Just then, Officer Yadong arrives and tells Wang to follow her. Yadong informs the station captain that this man's daughter has been taken, and he has the license plate and a description of the kidnapper. The captain reassures him, stating that they will inform him right away if they find anything. Feeling hopeless, Wang leaves the police station and notices pictures of several missing children on the board. Somewhere, Rainey regains consciousness and realizes she is trapped in a dungeon with several other children. Upon returning home, Wang realizes that the police are unable to help him find his daughter, prompting him to take matters into his own hands. Armed with a hammer and a photo of his daughter, he sets out to locate Rainey. Following a ticket stub he discovered on the truck, he reaches an arena where a boxing match is already in progress. Paklong has arranged a meeting for Naveen with his boss. Naveen meets Mr. Song, a local gangster involved in human trafficking, and demands that he provide him with 30 children, offering to pay 3 times the market rate, which leaves Mr. Song shocked. Sensing something is off, Mr. Song asks who Naveen really is. Naveen claims to be just a messenger and that his partner is waiting for him. Mr. Song suddenly bursts out laughing, relaxing his guard. Meanwhile, Wang is stopped by the staff from going upstairs, and Pak Long comes downstairs, swiftly recognizing him after knocking Wang's cap off. A fierce fight breaks out between Wang and the henchman. With his impressive kung fu skills, Wang quickly defeats them. He shows Pak Long a picture of Rainey, inquiring about her. Pak Long retaliates by smashing a bottle at him before making his escape. He instructs the boxers to kill Wang for a large reward. Upstairs, a goon informs Mr. Song about an armed man rampaging downstairs. Misinterpreting the situation, Mr. Song thinks it's Naveen who is behind this, and disregards Naveen's attempts to explain that he has no connection to the man below. Mr. Song orders his men to kill Naveen immediately. Cornered by the thugs, Naveen reveals his true abilities, proving himself to be a formidable fighter. Pak Long finds himself trapped by Wang in the octagon. Just then, the boxers rush in to help him, but none can match Wang's fighting skills, and they are quickly defeated. Meanwhile, Pak Long attempts to escape the bar, but Naveen throws him upstairs into the ring. This marks the first encounter between Naveen and Wang. Naveen sneaks into the surveillance room and downloads Mr. Song's data onto his drive. Soon after, he is ambushed by Wang. During the fight, Naveen spots a picture of Rainey and realizes that Wang is also searching for someone, so he calms Wang down by assuring him he isn't one of the enemies. Naveen hurries back to the surveillance room and retrieves the drive. Mr. Song violently assaults Pak Long in front of his son for bringing an undercover agent into their bar. In the end, he orders his men to eliminate Pak Long and sends his son to the dungeon. Filled with rage, Rainey confronts the boy, stating she was only trying to help him, but he betrayed her instead. The boy erupts with anger, telling Rainey that her kindness has brought her misfortune, and calls her foolish. Naveen and Wang arrive at a hidden location and review the footage together. Naveen reveals that Mr. Song is the largest human trafficker in the country. He also mentions that his wife, a journalist, mysteriously disappeared while collecting evidence against Mr. Song. Naveen discovers that Wang's daughter, Rainey, has been kidnapped by Mr. Song, prompting Wang to search for her. While examining the footage, they notice a refrigeration truck involved in the abduction of children, which delivers them to an ice factory. Knowing the address, Wang decides to take Naveen there. He impulsively jumps out of the truck and gets into a fight with the goons. Meanwhile, Naveen sneaks into the factory, where he finds people frozen in ice inside a chamber. Suddenly, he is attacked by Ho. Meanwhile, Wang fights off the goons that confront him. Unexpectedly, Mr. Song opens fire on him with a shotgun, forcing Wang to retreat into a large chamber filled with ice blocks. Suddenly, Naveen topples ice molds onto Mr. Song, knocking him unconscious. Enraged, Ho dashes in to rescue his father and fights Wang and Naveen with a hefty hammer, giving them a tough battle. He pounds Wang through the floor into the dungeon, where Wang discovers Rainey's blood-stained coat and unravels emotionally. Upstairs, Ho lands a hammer blow on Naveen, but just as he prepares a final strike, Wang arrives and knocks Ho down with his own hammer. Overcome by emotion, Wang begins to pound Ho, but Naveen stops him, insisting that his daughter might still be alive somewhere. Marky, a local notorious gangster, gets a call from the captain about a scuffle at his father-in-law's ice factory, and Mr. Song not answering his phone. Marky tells his father-in-law that he already moved the cargo and his valuables remain intact. Meanwhile, Wang and Naveen capture Mr. Song and tether him to an electric fence, shocking him. Naveen tells Mr. Song that his friend wants his daughter back and that he is searching for his wife. Mr. Song stays silent, prompting Naveen to give him electric shocks again in frustration. With no other option, Mr. Song reveals that his wife could be found in the snake pit. Rainey anxiously searches for a way out, while the boy warns that if the goons catch them, they will beat her to death. He admits he tried to escape once, but the goons beat him severely. He reveals he witnessed the goons killing his family. Suddenly, Rainey spots a metal box. She takes a coin and begins to unscrew it. Mr. Song is struck by a speeding arrow fired by Tak. Marky asks what he told the Chinese mute. Wang and Naveen reach the snake pit. Rain starts cutting the ventilation window with a sharp metal plate. At the same time, a goon enters the dungeon. Rainey attacks him with a sharp blade and urges the children to flee. Naveen goes live on Facebook, declaring that town children are being held against their will at a place called the Snake Pit, hoping his missing wife might be there as well. He asks viewers to share the live stream with as many people as possible. The broadcast goes viral and reaches Sergeant Yadong. Some goons beat Rainey. Soon, Wang and Navin arrive and begin to relentlessly beat the goons. Wang is reunited with his daughter. Wang and Navin begin escaping the snake pit, but Rainey refuses, insisting she go back to rescue the other children. Navin asks where the other kids are. Rainey says they're locked in a room upstairs. Navin tells Wang to leave with Rainey while he stays to rescue the others. Meanwhile, the police arrive outside the snake pit. Soon after, the captain shows up and starts interrupting the investigation. Wang comes out, only to see mercenaries entering the building. He jumps on a bike with Rainey and storms back inside to save the other children and Navin. The father and daughter duo fight off the mercenaries and take them down in an instant. Navin and Wang rush upstairs and free the trapped children. Soon, a large number of mercenaries pursue them and attack Navin and Wang. Rainey and the other children devise a plan to escape by using a sheet. They tie one end to a pole and throw the other end down below the building. Meanwhile, Navin and Wang are outnumbered. The townspeople call the police cowards for doing nothing and simply watch. Sergeant Yadong refuses to take orders from the captain and orders her squad to storm the building and rescue the children. Using the sheet as a rope, a few trapped children manage to descend. The boy tells Rainey to go, and he will come down afterwards. As she descends, the sheet tears, causing Rainey to fall from the building. Luckily, the townspeople save her with a trampoline. When the boy tries to come down, he is grabbed by a goon. Just as the goon is about to throw him off the building, Sergeant Yadong shoots him dead. Soon, the squad infiltrates the building, holding the goons hostage and saving Wang and Navin. Navin asks Sergeant Yadong if she has seen his wife inside the building. She shakes her head quietly. Marky watches the news on his phone and learns that all the kidnapped children have been rescued by the police, exposing him. Marky receives a phone call from his father-in-law, who asks him to come over. Moments later, Marky returns home, and his wife tells him her father is waiting for him. Marky enters the living room, and his father-in-law informs him that the captain is there to take him into custody, calling him a disgrace for tarnishing his dignity. One of the business partners trash-talks Marky, prompting him to angrily bite his finger. Afterwards, Marky devolves into a rage and begins to kill everyone present, including his father-in-law. He doesn't spare the captain either. In the heat of the moment, he accidentally stabs his wife, who is pregnant, unknowingly killing his unborn child. By the time he realizes what he has done, it is already too late. At the police station, the parents of the abducted children rush in and are reunited with their kids. Sergeant Yadong tells Wang that whatever he did was in self-defense, but she cannot release him until bail is granted, so he must spend the night in jail until tomorrow. In the meantime, she will look after his daughter. Ho barely leaves the factory and finds Mr. Song pinned to the ice cream van, with arrows buried in his body. He instantly realizes that Marky and Tak killed him. In the prison cell, Navin appreciates Wang's help in the snake pit. He explains that his wife called him the night she disappeared. They argued, and she walked out. He wanted to leave the country for good, but she was obsessed with finding all these missing children. Burning with vengeance, Marky sends Tak to the police station to kill Navin and Wang. Suddenly, there is a power outage at the police station. Sasha tells Yadong he will check the breaker box, but just as he goes downstairs, he finds his colleagues lying dead on the floor. Before he can react, Tak grabs him and brutally mutilates him. He single-handedly kills all the cops there. Yadong tells the boy and Rainey to stay quiet and not go anywhere until she returns. In the cell, Wang and Navin quickly sense that something is off upstairs. They find the keys on the floor outside the cell, but neither can reach them. Sergeant Yadong warns Tak to put his weapon down, or she will blow his head off. Just then, Marky steps into the police station and stabs Yadong with an arrow. He mercilessly kicks her, knocking her down. They both come downstairs but cannot find Navin and Wang in the cell. Upstairs, Navin and Wang try to escape with the boy and Rainey, but they soon find themselves surrounded by Marky and Tak. Marky blames Wang and Navin for the loss of his wife and unborn child. Soon, a brutal battle erupts. Out of nowhere, Ho appears and starts beating everyone. First, he attacks Marky for killing his father. There comes a moment in the fight when it is unclear who is killing whom. Tak and Navin fight fiercely, with Tak managing to stab him with a dagger, but Navin refuses to stop. In the chaos, Navin discovers his wife's ring falling from Tak's bracelet. He quickly understands that Tak killed his wife. Enraged, Navin fights with renewed energy, but Tak keeps wounding him with a dagger. He stabs Navin through the body, but before dying, Navin fights back and stabs Tak. Wang notices Navin is badly injured and rushes to him. Marky somehow stabs Ho and kills him. Before dying, Navin tells Wang that he found his wife's ring and can now die peacefully. The cruel Marky pulls Rainey out of hiding and begins beating her. Just then, Wang rushes in, tackles him, and they crash onto bicycles. They get up and keep fighting until one dies. Wang pummels Marky, knocking him unconscious. Meanwhile, Rainey arrives and stops him. Suddenly, Marky wakes up and launches a brutal attack on Wang's head. The orphan boy cannot bear it and shoves Marky aside. Rainey checks on her father, but he is unresponsive. At that moment, Marky, filled with regret for killing his own wife and child in anger, rises to his feet, looks at the sky, and collapses dead on the road. 1 month later, in memory of Navin and Mattia, Wang hangs a memorial piece of wood on a string. He recalls the time he told Navin his name. Wang scatters Navin's ashes into the water as a tribute. Afterwards, he sits by the shore with Rainey, telling her how he first met her mother.